And we're doing everything we can to change the landscape and to change status quo when it comes to politics and economics and education in this country, and specifically in this city. I encourage you to find out what Cleester Mims is doing and what her situation is with her school out there in Kennedy Heights, Silverton area, on Bell Kenton. You will see the program, Eavesdropping on the Elders, and you'll see how important the role that she has played over the years in this town is, and how it can continue to be that way. Check out Amafika Giuka, who walked from West Palm Beach, Florida to Washington, D.C. in support of African-centered education, and filed petitions with the Department of Education and with President Obama, who didn't invite him in for a beer or a glass of lemonade after his 1,000-mile walk. But check this stuff out and keep yourself informed as to what's going on in education, in economics. Hey, start with your family first and start looking around and say, what resources do we have? How can we what can we do to help sustain ourselves on our own without having to go out and ask someone else to help us? Do we have any dirt around here anywhere we can drop a seed in? Can we get our young people involved in some kind of job opportunity or business opportunity that will sustain them and be able to grow and hire others? Those are the kinds of things. And of course the politics, hey, play to win. Don't play just to play. Play to win. On that article I told you I wrote, we have about, 4 or 5 minutes. It's titled, Can't We All Get Along? And the first paragraph says, looks like Rodney King is living in the White House these days. Before you start writing your letters and emails to me for having the nerve to say something negative about our president, consider our current situation. We need to open our eyes and our minds to the reality of politics once and for all by understanding the nature of the beast. And then I went on to talk about, the story about the frog and the scorpion. They were on the side of the pond, and the scorpion asked the frog for a ride across because he couldn't swim. And the frog said, I'm not taking you across that pond. You sting me. You kill me. He said, oh, please, I'm not going to do it. I promise I will not sting you. Just get me across this pond, and in return, I won't sting you. So the frog said, okay, hop on my back. He took him across the pond. As soon as they got over there, the scorpion jumped off and stung the frog and killed him. And as the frog was dying, he said, he looked over at the scorpion. He said, I thought you weren't going to do it. You told me you weren't going to sting me. The scorpion looked at him and said, I'm just being true to my nature. Politics is about, or at least some politicians are about being true to their nature. And we have to understand the nature of this beast called politics, regardless of who's in the White House. It doesn't matter. And I went on to just talk about the fact that Barack Obama was swept into office by a riptide of emotion, hope, and exasperation at the previous 8 years of Bush. He was ballyhooed and ushered on the fragile wings of instant stardom and fame, so much so that it seems he even believed the hype. But now that he's in office and that the crazies have come out of the woodwork against him, he finds himself having to respond to the ire of many of the same folks who hailed him as their new chief in January 2009. Obama is busy plugging holes in the dike and is fast running out of fingers. He was forced to take time to have a beer with two guys who had a spat and offered it to us as a teachable moment that would demonstrate we can indeed all get along. He's on the road to explaining his health care plan, trying desperately to get his opponents to get on board and get along with him as well. He's attempting to be all things to all people, albeit disciplinary when it comes to black people. But that's another article. All of this in his utopian endeavor to have us all get along. Here's a memo to the president. After Rodney King was beaten senseless by those police officers, all he could utter is, can we all get along? All he could muster the nerve to say before the cameras of the world, before a public that was shocked beyond imagination at what had happened to him, recorded for everybody to see was, can we all get along? It was his time to shine, his time to teach, his time to enlighten, but he blew it big time and squandered his 15 minutes of fame with that immature, naive, rhetorical question, can't we all get along? In this country, Mr. President, as you well know, the political system of which you are now at least the titular leader is a system grounded in rancor and adversity, a system that reeks of discord, a system comprising childlike adults who always want their way, and a system based on a 250-year struggle for that ultimate aphrodisiac, power. You are in charge of a system whose participants have fought like cats and dogs over every little thing, and now you pose the question, can't we all get along? After years of being beat up all while watching it take place before our eyes on the evening news, most of the folks who elected you are not down with the Rodney King inquiry. We expect much more of you. Get some backbone, stand up to the political thugs and do the right thing. Don't go down as simply a big baller. Be a true shot caller. And how about looking out for black folks every now and then too? After all, you are the president, bruh. Politicians have been battling for centuries and have demonstrated in no uncertain terms that the answer to that question, can't we all get along, is an emphatic, unequivocal, unapologetic no. Get a clue. Get a clue. Let's play politics to win, not just to play. My name is Jim Klingman. I asked two questions. Are we getting it, or is it getting us? Till next time, God bless you.